Good morning, campers. Only have a little less than 5 miles left of the Desolation Wilderness. Sorry, I just woke up. I think it's about 4.6, so that'll be ending for me today, but I'm looking forward to Barker Pass. Someone had told me that that was one of their favorite parts for all the wildflowers, so really excited about that. Um, so I have I think a pretty easy day planned, not too bad. I have about, um, let me see, I'm at 142 point whatever, and then Tahoe City, I'm going by gut hooks, so Tahoe City is at 170 point whatever, so, and that's where my resupply is, so I have about, so that's 28 miles, and I'm running a little low on food. So I didn't recalibrate after Kevin left. Mistake on my part, but I'll be okay. So just trying to make sure that I plan accordingly so I don't go too long with too few calories. I have been dropping some weight, so I want to make sure I have enough energy. Today, so here I am at 142-ish, and I think I'm about 7,600 foot elevation, so I'm gonna go up about 8,000, then down to about 6,900, and then back up. The view of McKinley Bay, I think it's McKinley Bay, is about 8,200 feet. Barker Pass is right before that at about 7,600 feet. And there's a lot of water right before Barker Pass, and there's some water after the peak. So I'm going to see how I feel and, kind of plan accordingly. And make sure that I'm taking care of my feet because my feet feel a lot better. They always do in the morning, but hopefully just really taking care of them. Massaged them yesterday. I've been playing doctor, and I'll give you the update on what I'm talking about here, and I'll show you how much food I have left. Hold, please. So here's my food left for 38 miles. So basically what I have here is this is just sugar to get me up a hill. This I'm going to use today because I usually try and drink a liter of water before I start. That way you start your day off super hydrated. And even though by the time I camped here last night, I did not drink any water. I was trying to conserve a little bit. I have about 6 miles till I have a fresh stream again. But I was so hydrated yesterday that I still got up to pee in the middle of the night. So today I collected about, I had a liter and a half left, and then I collected 2.5 liters more. So because I'm a contact lens wearer, I use not quite a bit, at least a half a liter to wash my hands so that I make sure that I don't get eye infections. And then I try to drink a liter before I leave. And then I still need water for my climb to the next water source in 6 miles. So I think this is going to come in handy today. And this is actually my last electrolyte replacement that I bought. So it's not one of the super duper heavy electrolyte replacements, but I like it because it's got other vitamins and stuff in it as well. And for junky water, it makes it taste palatable, i.e. Spooner. So essentially, this is probably what I eat in a day right here anyways. Usually 2 of these, a little sugar, crackers, a Larbar, some almonds, some dried fruit, and this is cut up sausage, just like a summer roll. So that's how much of that I have left. I probably ate too much of that yesterday at lunch, but I was hungry. So hopefully the almonds will be enough for the protein that I need. So that's for today. I'm probably going to conserve the sausage a little bit. And then, so I almost have that much for tomorrow. Santa, the man I camped next to yesterday, gave me these 3 items. So that's going to help a lot on that 3rd day, because that's about enough for day 2. This is instant, what is this? Instant loaded baked potato, mashed potatoes. So that's actually a serving left. It's technically 2 servings, but that's, you know, lunch. So that's pretty good for 2 days. So the 3rd day, and these are like little motivators to get you up the hill. So the 3rd day, here's what I got rolling. So clearly I need to get into town. And here, I'll give you the update on my feet while I'm at it. So they feel a lot better today. Yeah, that's starting to heal. Haha, no pun intended. I have a little blister on the side here that I popped, and this one that was on the top seems to be healing. And then of course, whatever I got going on in between, I cut away a little bit more of the skin last night, and that seemed to relieve the pressure a little bit more. Again, this is the most painful spot, and this guy is why I finally, you know, stopped, because I'm just, you know, limping. It's right, it's like a pressure point. You know, a nerve, I'm not sure, but that sucker hurts, and it hurts deep. So, that's Mr. Lefty. So that one looks better, but it hurts worse. So here's Mr. Righty, and I'm gonna say that's healing. I've been slapping Neosporin on it, you know, doing what I can. This was a new blister. He's about a day and a half old. I popped him yesterday and the day before. So this blister seems to be healing, still a little sensitive. This one, I cut away a little bit of the skin last night, and I'm wondering if that was a mistake. I don't know, but I put some Neosporin on it. Right, so, and then this guy down here, yeah, so that was a huge blister, and I popped it, and now there's like all kinds of loose skin, and I'm gonna leave it, because if I remove that skin, it's gonna be raw, and I'm gonna be very, very sorry. This was the original Troublemaker, and although it looks kind of messed up, it's been fine. Yeah. So it was a little bait and switch for me. Anywho, so, and then that cut that appeared from nowhere, not sure, that seems to be healing. It was kind of getting infected, but now it's looking better. So, and then last but not least, again, I think healing and kind of callousing whatever's going on there and I still have the toenail, it's just that, you know, polish is chipped off. I just, yeah, not so pretty, yeah. So a couple bug bites, you know, because they love me. So the injuries I started with before I even started hiking. So up here, where I cracked my head and split it on an open window, that, there's a little lump, but that seems to be almost healed. And then the day that I left, I burned myself, and so that's the progress on that. So there's your damage report. Trail this morning. So this morning before I left my tent site,
I met Wendy, and finally I met a fellow TRT female thru hiker who is actually a little bit older than me. I'm 45, I'll be 46 beginning of October, and I don't feel like I'm that old. And it seems that most of the people I've met doing the thru hike are young men, in their 20s. And then there's a lot of, day hiking women. And then there's some section hikers. And I think I've only seen 1 or 2 section hikers that were female that were going solo. So hopefully, Wendy, myself included, Marcy, who I met hiking sola, hopefully it inspires you. You don't need a big group to come out if you want to come out. You don't need a man. You don't need a dog. You don't need a gun. It's perfectly safe out here. I was just discussing with Wendy this morning, that Marcy's experience with the young men using the trail in the middle of the night that frightened her. I had one similar about a mile north of Star Lake where these young men were running through the night on the trail, and I was tucked down in the woods, and I saw their headlamps on my tent, and I became frightened. I thought they were coming down, and why would they come down? And so anyways, they passed, and I realized, they were just trying to hurry to, the lake. But I had realized, I am not afraid of, I'm careful, I'm wary, I try to keep my wits about me in regard to bears or mountain lions. But that fear I have is more of man. So kind of interesting little coincidence there with Marcy and myself. Because I asked Wendy this morning if she had been frightened, and she said she felt safe out here. So for all you ladies out there who don't think it's safe or think they can't do it, or they're too old or this or that or the other, you can. It takes obviously some planning and preparation, but it's possible. So get out here. And as far as the food goes and rationing, I'm actually pretty pleased with myself. With how many, the delay that I had and how much food I have left. I actually planned pretty spot on for my resupplies. I just didn't anticipate giving some of my food away and, to someone that was sick and needed it. And, also being a little bit behind my schedule. So, anywho, so I'm marking that as a win. To me, part of the challenge out here is knowing what you need and not carrying what you don't. So, and that includes food. The other update is yesterday and today I am using Band-Aids. Still a little bit of duct tape just to keep them on. But that seemed to work the best so far. And I have to say I adjusted my left boot a little because my left foot is the one that's been giving me trouble. And because I finished yoga and, I had put on my boots and as soon as I put my little foot in its cage, it said, ow. And so I looked at it and, it was laced considerably differently from the other boot. So I loosened up the front, and that seems to have alleviated a lot of the pressure. So hopefully that's all it takes. So anywho, and then the other update was I broke a hair tie yesterday. That's why my hair was in pigtails and not braids. And boy, that is just a mess to comb out at night. So I luckily found a rubber band at my tent site, and I scooped it up, and it is now in my hair.